Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now April 27th of 2021, and ever since the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2's finale, a lot of fans around the world have been very much skeptical and curious about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and others out there. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that we do know about Disney Star Wars is that Jon and Dave are really pouring their heart and soul into this new expanded universe. We're talking about shows like Star Wars Ahsoka, Star Wars Kenobi, which they are involved, by the way, to some degree. Also, the reformed version of Rangers of the New Republic, and a lot more to come that's going to be announced later this fall, into, of course, Star Wars Celebration of 2022, with more TV shows getting announced during that year. So what's really exciting about all of this is that we also know that both, of course, Kathleen Kennedy and Disney CEO Bob Chapek, we have seen the back and forth between the two over the past couple of months. There's been a lot of things going on behind the scenes over at Disney and Lucasfilm as companies. Now, ever since the Gina Carano firing, ever since then, a lot of fans have been very much fed up with Star Wars. They've been canceling their Disney Plus subscription. They've been backing away from the franchise and saying no more, and not coming back until Gina Carano gets hired back. That's how a lot of fans are viewing the entire scenario right now. It's pretty much an ultimatum, right? If Gina doesn't come back, we don't come back. That's what some fans are saying. In fact, a lot of fans are saying that. Now, while I do agree that everything related to the lineup of Star Wars looks pretty interesting when it comes to shows like Kenobi, Ahsoka, Mandalorian Season 3 and 4, and a lot more to come, we've also got shows that are more on the lower end, that are not as intriguing, at least for me. I don't know if you guys agree, but shows like Star Wars Andor and stuff around those lines. So with that being said, of course, what's really intriguing about all of this, however, is that ever since Disney and Lucasfilm hired Jon Favreau to take care of the new Star Wars universe, he and Dave Filoni have been creating multiple projects behind the scenes, such as Star Wars Ahsoka, and even The Mandalorian Season 3 and 4 back-to-back. However, in a recent interview with Jon Favreau, was questioned about the future of Star Wars and more, where Jon Favreau went on to unveil that he and his partner Dave Filoni are creating something very exciting for the fans with the future shows by bringing back a handful of Star Wars legends into the mix. Jon Favreau went on to unveil that at first Disney was not on board with this direction, and that it took tons of convincing for them to finally give into the idea that the return of legends is a good call for Star Wars fans. Now, Jon Favreau continued to state that what he and Dave Filoni are doing with characters like Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, and others like Thrawn are really going to take the fans by surprise, and that he is so tempted to just tell everyone what is in store for the franchise overall. In addition, and separate from all of this, it's described that when Lucasfilm had fired Gina Carano behind the scenes, many of the Disney board members that supported Carano were frightened about the Star Wars brand taking a massive hit with that decision, and that right now, Disney's board members are in the talks of exactly how Gina Carano would return back into Star Wars if they successfully rehire her and make her return. Right now, Disney's board members are discussing that perhaps she don't even return for Season 3, since the scripts are already near finished, but rather for Season 4, which is said to release shortly after the third season, since it's being worked on back-to-back with 4. Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy is said to be trying to prevent Gina Carano's return to Star Wars by trying to convince the other board members that it would actually make Disney look weak if they brought her back. So here's the thing about this entire situation, Kathleen Kennedy for the longest time has had this grudge against Gina Carano, hence why she wants to prevent this from even happening. Now, her trying to convince Disney that by bringing Gina Carano back would make Disney appear weak, I don't believe that's the case. If anything, I believe if it's all for good intention toward the fans, it would make them appear stronger. If they are to own up to their problems and to their mistakes and their lack of judgment and all, I think that they could create a better image moving forward. They really can. But everything related to Gina Carano over the past couple of months here It's been a very interesting development, especially, you know, this April. A lot of things are happening. We have seen what has been going on with the Nat Geo, alright, the Bear Grylls episode of Gina Carano coming back. You know, Bear Grylls is a very big part of Nat Geo, and the fact that Gina's episode is going to air is a massive development right now. So obviously the Disney board members, you know, they're pretty much in a mix. They don't really know exactly what's the right call. Do they hire her back? Do they not hire her back? Does it make them look weak? Does it not make them look weak? I honestly believe that they should just hire her back, and they should just make up a decision finally. Whether or not Gina is going to accept that offer is a big question open on the table for discussion, right? So beyond all of this also, alright, we also know that others out there like Jon Favreau explaining of how this universe is really going to borrow tons from Star Wars Legends. This is a big deal because he and his partner Dave Filoni, they are doing everything that they can in the book to really make Star Wars as best as possible. You know, they're pretty much going to be recreating the Thrawn legacy. I don't know if you guys recall, but the Thrawn legacy, alright, the Thrawn trilogy, is a very interesting part of Star Wars Legends that a lot of fans have been very intrigued about for decades now. You know, it was a big thing in the 1990s, and it really picked up even more in the early 2000s as people began to read it, you know, a lot more than usual. What I think about this entire scenario, the fact that Legends is coming back, the fact that Gina Carano is in discussions, you know, between Disney and Lucasfilm, the entire situation is indeed evolving as we speak. I would not be surprised if there's going to be some form of public announcement either this June or this fall about some major development involving Gina Carano and their major decision of rehiring her back and putting her back into The Mandalorian. When we go ahead and look at this also, the fact that we have over a dozen Star Wars projects currently in the mix, I mean, this really does tell the fans a lot about what's coming our way. We obviously know that Star Wars is a very big brand, and they want to make it as successful as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, given that now it's more on the decline. You know, a lot of fans have been moving away, focusing on other franchises like Marvel, by the way. Marvel's been a little bit up and down for me. You know, when we look at what's been going on with their TV shows, it's been an on and off experience as far as expectations go. If they can really perform this on a solid level with future Star Wars TV shows like Kenobi, Ahsoka, Mando Season 3 and 4, the reformed version of Rangers, I think that they are on the right road to success here. So the last thing that I think a lot of fans need to know that's very, very important is that obviously it seems like things are going well for Gina Carano. Things are going her way, and I believe it will further go her way as we get to learn a little bit more about, you know, what's happening and exactly what the Disney board members are going to be planning in the next couple of weeks. We do know that John and Dave have a meeting with the higher-ups over at Disney in May of this year, so looking forward to that. We will be talking about that next month. So honestly, things are happening. Things are starting to brew behind the scenes. So let me know what you guys think about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.